Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming to Money Talks, Kindergarten Financial Literacy by the wonderful Chris Meaden of Junior Achievement Southern Alberta. Thank you for joining us, Chris, and for working so hard to put together the materials for this series that's been so practical and helpful for teachers. So I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Cheryl, for your time and energy and expertise and for that introduction. My name is Chris Meaden, and I'm very proud to be a longtime educator in our city, especially with the Calgary Board of Education, and now have the wonderful opportunity to represent Junior Achievement of Southern Alberta as their Director of Teacher Development. My goal is to share a little bit of information about our organization and our programs, especially those related to financial literacy. But I certainly look forward during this presentation, hopefully, and down the road to receiving your feedback about how we can support the important work that you do in accomplishing the related outcomes in the curriculum. So I am coming to you from Calgary, and it's hard not to look out my window at Nose Hill and think about our beautiful land. So I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the peoples of the Treaty 7 region in Southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot First Nations tribes of Siksika, the Piikani, the Kainai, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations tribes of Chiniki, Bearspaw and Wesley, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. The city of Calgary is also home to the historic Northwest Métis and to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Junior Achievement of Southern Alberta is very proud to be a part of Junior Achievement Worldwide, and that is a global non-governmental organization that has been in existence for over 100 years and includes 120 chapters. Junior Achievement focuses on three main goals, and you can see those on the screen: financial literacy, career readiness, and entrepreneurship training. Through the opportunities provided, it's been exciting to see the evidence of student growth, not only in terms of their financial literacy, but also their financial capability and financial capacity. You will see the term financial capacity more and more in literature, and it is indeed that knowledge and motivation that individuals have to engage with and use financial information to make sound decisions, and that is individuals of all ages. Some of our volunteers and professionals have even found the information useful in their own financial planning, linking to what the literature also calls financial wellness or financial health. So Junior Achievement is of Southern Alberta, as I said, is part of Junior Achievement Worldwide, but it's one of the largest organizations, certainly in Canada. And we work with all of the other regions across Canada, especially Junior Achievement of Northern Alberta and Northwest Territories, to consider our provincial context and needs, to develop new materials based on what is happening in our province, in this case, the new provincial curricula. Because of our reputation in our city and our ability to respond, we're very proud to report an increase in our reach. And I've got 30,000 students impacted this year. That was as of December. As of June, we'll be closer to 60,000 students. Please know that Junior Achievement programs are offered free of charge. And that is because of the wonderful support that we have from our community. So you will see on our screen some of our important community partners here in Calgary and Southern Alberta that allow us to offer these programs for free. This is a screen of our program summary, which we will revisit at the end of this presentation as well. But our programs are carefully designed to be age appropriate and to look at the developmental needs of students. So while the programs in this case are attached to grades, we know that, for example, primary teachers might look at the grades below or a couple of grades above in order to find tasks and activities that are appropriate to the wide range of students in their classrooms. But we do have a number of programs that start in kindergarten and that move through to grade 12. As I said, looking at the developmental needs of students and their readiness. So our goal really is to help you do your important work. We know that you make very important decisions every day about the resources you choose, considering the learning profiles of your students, your lesson pacing, your assessment, topics that you need to revisit, and as I know, the list goes on. We've also provided you as a listener with a visual journal link today, which may or may not be helpful for you. It's something that we know you use often in your classrooms with students in order for them to jot down or find a way to represent their thoughts. So in this particular link, there's opportunities for you to use charts, to use artwork, to use webs in order to look at some of the things that you're listening to today. What might be useful or applied, what might be integrated, what it is that you're curious about, what it is that you might want to find out more about, etc. But again, that's your personal choice. It's interesting to me that this is a technique that we as educators use often in order to personalize responses to what students see and hear, but it's also something that's been adapted by entrepreneurs and business leaders, and they use graphic organizers or visual journals or web-based journals like this called Bojos in order to record their thoughts and to organize their days. Okay, let's get to the curriculum. So we know that in Alberta's new K-6 curriculum, that financial literacy has been moved into the physical education and wellness curriculum. And there is a scope and sequence of financial literacy outcomes from K-6. We also know that concepts such as financial literacy are to be integrated into other subject areas as is necessary and applicable. And our Alberta government has also identified financial literacy as a core practical skill that is highlighted in the new curricula. So from K-6, in the phys ed and wellness curriculum, though, there is a specific financial literacy organizing idea. And it is the same idea across all 7 of the curricula in that, and the idea is that informed financial decision-making contributes to the well-being of individual groups and communities. So again, highlighting why financial literacy has been included in phys ed and wellness, in that it is linked to that financial health or financial or overall well-being. Specifically in kindergarten, one learning outcome, students explore money. That learning outcome is assessed, and as you know from the other elements of the new curriculum, that the learning outcome is supported by these knowledge, understanding, skills, and procedures. So you can see the emphasis once again on Canadian money in its many forms, such as coins and bills, specifically a focus on coins and then bills up to $10. an acknowledgement that those Canadian bills and coins do have different features that you might delve into, such as color, number, images, and size. The value of money is touched on as well, as you can see by these cusps. So in terms of JA, the JA program, JA ourselves, is where most of these tasks are coming from. And there is a specific junior journal mini book that accompanies this program. So much like the visual journal that we started with you as teachers, a much simpler form where students can record and draw some of their thoughts. Some of these junior journal tasks that we're going to look at, the ones I'm going to highlight today, are directly associated with the outcome, but there are other junior journal tasks as well that you might want to use to, whoops, that one didn't work. I have to go back on that one. But other junior journal tasks you might use as sort of more of an extension. So you'll see that I've included the whole junior journal here for you, and we'll be highlighting some of those tasks. As always, I know in your work in particular, and understanding of vocabulary is really critical to the work that you do to help students understand the large concepts that we're talking about. And so in kindergarten, as related to the learning outcome, the focus really is about understanding the concepts of coins, that metal money, bills, that so-called paper money, and then money itself, that item that we use to purchase the things that we need and want. And you'll find that in the Ourselves program, there are a number of flashcards. So some of these flashcards directly relate to the concepts of coins and bills and money. And then there are flashcards that are connected to those key concepts. So the concept, for example, of goods and services and earning. So you might choose to use these flashcards in a number of games, or in order to reiterate some of the word wall definitions. There's also templates for Canadian money that are provided. So again, giving you an opportunity to look at some of the images on that money and where those images came from, an opportunity to differentiate between the different coins and bills, and to look specifically at the different values that that money has. There's also templates in the program to build things like wallets and piggy banks or savings banks. We had an interesting event, for example, last weekend at a children's festival where we used some of these tasks. And we partnered with a local bank. So we were talking about the value of some of the coins and bills and providing opportunities for students to create and design their own wallets and savings banks. They were also writing simple stories about some of the things that they would spend their money on. So these sorts of items are available to you in the Ourselves program as well. Always though, with junior achievement, there's opportunities to provide directed tasks, but there's also opportunities for extensions. Choice is an important element about making, as you know, decisions about money. And so when I'm thinking about the fine work that our kindergarten and primary teachers do, I think about setting up, for example, store centers, creating shopping lists, making wallets, having students use some of those templates for money, and looking at what they might choose to buy with, for example, if they had $10 in their wallet, and creating a more of a center approach. And one of the things that the team and I will be working on this summer, for example, is to provide more materials for you to create those kinds of centers. So any feedback that you have for us would be very, very valuable and appreciated. JA has also created a particular storybook. In this case, one of the books is called Welcome Home, and it's about a young girl who is welcoming home her friend who has been away for several years and who is moving back, or several months probably, and moving back to the neighborhood. So she works with her family to plan a welcome home party for her friend using a defined budget. And again, I have put a copy of this particular storybook in the PowerPoint for you. I think for some of you, it might be, for some of your students, it might be an early reading task as well. But it's a fairly simplistic book in terms of the illustrations and some of the concepts. I think, though, that because there's so many cultural values and family values that are associated with the concept of money, and I know that one of the things that you as primary teachers do so well is to create opportunities for students to have family discussions and to ask questions of their family. So I think that if it were me, that this would be something that I would set up as well, as an opportunity for family discussions. So even though needs and wants, for example, isn't a particular outcome in the program of study, being able to set some questions for students to ask their families about needs and wants and how it is that families set priorities about the money that they spend might be a useful activity as well. So another thing that I might do in terms of literacy connections is to look at some of these particular books as well. There are a number of books out there about financial literacy for young children. However, many of them have a real focus on American money. There's a great Dr. Seuss book that talks about the history of money, but the end of it goes into more information about the US Mint. So it's not as applicable perhaps to Canadians, but it's got some great information. In terms of some of the books I've highlighted here today, both Alexander, Who Used to Be Rich Last Sunday, and Rock, Brock and the Saving Shock are about siblings that save or not their money in different ways, and the differences between the children's values and then what happens to what they're able to purchase at the end. A Chair for My Mother is a New York Public Library Award winner. It's about a family who has had the very, very unfortunate situation in that they've had a fire in their home and they're trying to rebuild, and they're saving money for important purchases, including a chair for their mother. Those Shoes has a great ending to it, but it's about a child whose friends all have a particular pair of shoes, and he wants those shoes as well. So differentiating sort of between wants and needs. And Money, Money, Honey Buddy is one of the most simplistic books, a great rhyming book that you might go to for early reading, and talking about the concept of not only saving, but spending on yourself and spending on others. So I think there's certainly opportunities here to extend the literacy connections. And as you have additional ideas, I'd certainly like to hear those as well. So that's some of the key elements that we have in terms of financial literacy for kindergarten. And if anyone has questions, you can certainly put them in the chat or ask them now. Okay. I've also got my contact information at the end if you want to reach out and have more of a personal discussion. So another program that I wanted to highlight today, which is also part of our repertoire of programs, is RoboGarden. And as we chatted about at the beginning of the presentation, financial literacy is one of the practical skills that's highlighted in the new curricula. But computer science is also one of those practical skills. So if you're just learning about computer science and coding for young children, you might go to our RoboGarden program. And it is a block coding program that can be used for students in our primary grades as well as junior high. And it's, as I said, in the primary grades, very much a block coding program. And if you have questions about that, we have experts in our office that can guide you through that one as well. It can be used as a self-directed program, and it has a learning management system for teachers that is attached to it.
Looks great, Chris. There is a question about whether or not the resources are available in French.
You know what? We don't have a lot of resources available in French right now.
I know that the Alberta Regional Professional Development Consortia is working to try to support French instruction and for our FSL and our French immersion programs. So we will continue to post any financial literacy resources on the website, and we will look to see how we can support the implementation. And I know that that's a challenge for finding those resources, but certainly the ideas presented here by Junior Achievement could also be adapted in ways that you know best how to do. But thank you for that question, Roberta. We'll keep working on that, I promise.
And Cheryl, that would be something that we would like to work with you on. If there's specific ways with our expertise that we could respond, and maybe we could start with some tasks or some key resources that we could get created so that they're available in French. Okay, thanks, Roberta. Okay, so what's next for JA? We exist because of the important work that our wonderful educators do. So we would like to be able to be clear in the alignment between some of our tasks and programs and the new curriculum outcomes, so that it is easier for you to access, because we know how important your work is and how busy you are. So any feedback, any gaps that you're seeing, please do reach out, and we'll certainly see if we can develop materials or support you. We know traditionally most of our programs were delivered by volunteers from the community who are experts in career development, entrepreneurship, or financial literacy. However, with the stress of on financial literacy in the new curriculum, we want to make sure that you have the tools that you need, because you're the key deliverer of those curriculum outcomes. We also want to advance our learning management system for teachers So it's more technologically advanced, and our materials are more paperless and available online, so that you're not copying a bunch of things that you don't need. And we are very, very well connected in our community and have some wonderful partners. So we would like to work with you to capitalize on being able to access some of those important partners and resources as well. So I would encourage you to reach out to us, to not only access our materials, to ask questions, to be able to tap into our financial community. But we know that it is because of you that learning comes to life.
Because of you, I am more prepared for life after school.
I am more likely to graduate from high school,
Learn a trade,
get a college degree,
an advanced degree. Create a budget, stick with a budget.
Because of you, I know how to open a bank account, manage my money, manage your money.
That was great. Run a business, start my own business,
I'll be more likely to give back to my community.
and help others give back to theirs. Because of you, I'm more likely to get a good job,
An important job where I can make a difference, make a change,
change the world, change the world.
change the world.
Because of you.
So very much, we would like to thank you for your work, and we hope that you will reach out. I'm going to come back to the program summary, but I know that your time is very valuable. So I have included my email here. Can you see it there, Cheryl, or is my screen wonky?
No, it looks great.
Okay. Certainly do reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns or wonderings. And I'll just put up the program summary link once again for you. And you will see that there are QR codes that are available for you to access the programs. Once again, the programs are free. However, for our donors, we do count the number of people that access those programs. So it's not, you don't have to, you're not put on a list anywhere or anything, but it is part of our accountability to our funders. So once again, thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, I'll certainly stay on for the next few minutes. Otherwise, I invite you to take a look at some of the resources and to reach out.
Thank you so much, Chris. Hopefully you've been checking in the chat and you can see links to all of the resources and the slides that Chris provided for us today. Have a good weekend, everyone. I'll stop the recording. This will be posted on the CRC website and the Alberta Regional Professional Development Consortium website as well. Take care. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Bye-bye.